Power Trigger Trade Central here. I got a great update, people. I'm going to be talking about the Apple, what I said about Apple yesterday. STLD was also something I'm going to talk about that I posted inside of the Power Target Trades on October 31st, though. Just one of the few plans. Again, emphasize one of the few plans that worked. Many people post many plans, but let's see them do what I do. They can't. I put these companies out of business. Anyways, here it is here. The new SPY update here. Right? Now, I'm going to talk about that, but let's go to Apple here, people. And I want to talk about Apple here first, okay? So let's start off with Apple. And so here it is here. I said, now this I posted in the afternoon, based on the afternoon chart. I posted this inside of Power Target Trades. It says Apple could test the lows again of 108 again and still be bullish. And lo and behold, what did this do? We tested 108 when we bounced, right? So there is an opportunity to buy. But let me explain this again. So Apple is set up to test 120 to 123. The December 115 calls are good to use. Apple has confirmed my first plan, but during the election, a good sign. This did this. It didn't do it the way I wanted. This is why I was reserved and not to get out of Apple and not be in it, even though I had confirmed. I'd rather pay for the power. And of course, it couldn't show the power to this level. But because we went to this level, it gave us another entry point. You see, two things are going to happen. We have to be prepared. And this plan prepared you for everything. Right? This is the visionary work that I do. Apple needs to break above 112 on some good action volume. Now this didn't work, and this didn't happen. But we did get we got a confirmation again at the 110.50 area. So we got to that level. They pulled back to the 108, and then they re-broke 110.50, which is my original first plan. So there's the confirmation. This wasn't needed due to this happening, and it showing clear support in that area. All right, people. So enough with this Apple plan here. But people on the Apple board, check out everything else I'm saying because it's important, right? All right, so here we go. STLD. Right now, this markets, anything material markets, not just this stock, did very well. This is what I said about STLD. This was very slow action. But in the end, I mean, even with the election, this held it very strong. Again, one of the things about the SPY and the negativity, and people saying if Trump would win, the market did not make sense of a really negative market. Okay, just like my other SPY plan. Even though when we triggered and we pulled back more than anticipated, I call that an incorrect movement. But as you can see what happened, I mean, I was right again no matter what. It's what I'm seeing in my scans, people. Between bullish and bearish setups, it didn't make sense. I know what true bearish markets that are going to collapse look like. And this market, especially Goldman Sachs, was something I was talking about. And I talked about a lot with the new Power Trigger trade that I've been training. Again, to improve the power of what I do. And there's a story about that, but I'm not going to talk about it in this video. So check out what I said about STLD, and I mean that very well. That has done very well so far. And so here's the new SPY plan here. All right, and basically, I've made a plan on February the 11th, reversal plan. And you know what? Talking about the February 11th plan, let me show you something first before I go on onto this video. Just give me 1 second here. This is a new YouTube channel called Power Target Trades where I host my videos, and there's a video for you to see that I'm going to show you right now, where you can see that February 11 reversal plan. Do you know that 95% of the people were very bearish, and in there it shows a plan between me versus Dan Zanger. And how bearish people were, how bearish Dan Zanger was, I documented this. And, I made a fool of Dan Zanger, put it basically. Let's go to the channel here. He knows that because he got really upset with me. Oh, not the channel. Just 1 second here. So if you click into the video section, right, what you want to do is you're going to you gotta scroll in this. There's a lot of videos I posted. Um, see this? See the SPY February 11th reversal plan? See that video, people. Do yourself a favor. Go and see that video. See what I said. How I explain many points, and it what I said, and I followed it with an additional 8 plans from that. Okay, trust me, people. Nobody thought the market would ever make new highs. Believe me when I tell you that Mr. Dan Zanger was calling for a market collapse when I made the reversal plan. So trust me, my stuff is visionary. Okay, it's visionary. It's visionary work. It's very proven right there. That's just for yourself. If unless you're closed-minded and you want to remain blind, go see what I said on this plan, right? I will always mention this thing. It's because it's key. It's key to understanding that these people aren't who they seem to be, as good as they think they are. And these market conditions are much more difficult than they were 15 years ago. Okay, because the computer sophistication is a lot more sophisticated now, right? Give me a second here. Think about that carefully. That point there about how the markets and how they react now. That's why I call them incorrect movements. But the correct movement will always fruition. Give me 1 second here. So here we're back to the SPY plan, and I think based on my visionary lines of how the SPY moves and a lot of time frames that I look at and my scans, that we're going to test 220 to 222 from here. This will likely be choppy, meaning we will break up higher. There could be pullbacks. It's not going to be smooth. It doesn't really matter, but we are going to be heading to these levels if we can confirm a break of the 217.50 from here. The best plan is to focus on the right stock setups. The market is just perfect for them right now. Okay, and I've mentioned them on some of my stream. Follow me on Power Trigger Trade on StockTwits or Power Trigger Trade on Twitter. And of course, you see, I told people to see this video about my SPY, which is this video right now. What I focus on is strong setups. In other words, I narrow it down to a select few. So in a week, I may pick 5 to 7 picks or plans, I'll say. They've got a trigger, and I only add new ones if the other ones don't look like they're going to trigger, and we need another one to think. But it's never some crazy amount of numbers to focus on. A lot of services out there, they pump out a lot of picks, and I tell you, if you want to lose money, that's the best way to go, is follow them. Because I'll tell you why they can succeed still. Just think about this clear, a little bit of an education. Just think about this very carefully. If you pump up 20 picks, 5 of them work. In your group of people that come and go out in their group, 5 who happen to pick the winners out of the 20 make money, but the other 15 who took the losers don't. And that's how they give. This is exactly what happens with Dan Zanger. So Dan Zanger pops out winners, but in a large amount of picks, and people miss them as well because his plans and volume criteria is never clear. Whereas my plans, I make it very clear in my plans, the volume criteria. It doesn't do anything like what I'm doing. So study my plans and see this for yourself. But I compare the two analogies because I've spoken to people who feel that way. They say they don't trust Dan Zanger, right? They don't trust Dan Zanger, and some people it's a bit of luck of the draw. It's if you happen to pick the right picks in a large amount of group, it's going to some of your group of people are going to win because it explains that Dan Zanger's been around for over 20 years with the newsletters, and it's still advertising like hell. This means and proves that about 80% people fail and lose money following Dan Zanger. Right. Now, it's not totally his fault because you still got to study the market, but his plans and his trigger points are never clear. And I've watched for myself a lot of his plans. They don't when they trigger, if they trigger, they don't trigger with the volume that he explains. And he even says, and I've read this, he stated in his site that he does not even take the majority of his plans because of his high volume criteria. So think about that carefully. It's very clearly he does not take his own plans Hardly any of them, because they do not meet his volume criteria. Meanwhile, he touts the ones that they didn't confirm based on his volume criteria. They confirmed on price action, but they did not confirm with this the way he explains this. This is a fact. But again, when you got thousands of people coming in and out of you're going to have winners, because you're going to have people winning, but a lot of people are losing money with Dan Zanger, or else they wouldn't have to advertise nothing on his. He wouldn't have to do that site. Why? Anyways, that's just food for thought. But what I do is I post plans, and again, why I mentioned Dan Zanger is because you can see the difference in analysis. If you looked at what I wrote on my February 11 reversal plan, you're going to see it explained everything. I explained everything, the reasons why. I referenced 2015. Okay, and it's exactly what happened, what I said. Right? This isn't done by anyone. These day traders can't do this stuff. So some of my plans become day trades because the stock doesn't follow through enough or whatever, right? But I'm looking for I look for stocks that are going to make a strong we're going to take plans that have a good reason to take a plan. So if someone like myself can make these SPY plans, just imagine what I'm putting in, the effort I'm putting in my analysis for every other stock. That is why you want to follow me. So there you have it, people. Power Trigger Trade, Visionary Stock Trader, signing off. Thanks for listening. Like the video.